Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Welcome to this striking eye look. This eyeshadow look is completely inspired by a creator that I found on Instagram. I'm gonna link her down below and I'll show you the inspiration picture. I basically just followed her reel step by step and did my best to recreate her amazing look. I had so much fun with this. It was a good time. So if you want to see what I did, then don't go anywhere. Okay guys, today's look is completely inspired by a creator over on Instagram. Her handle is Moshkazum Makeup. I'm gonna link her Instagram down below. You've got to check her out. But she has the most vibrant, creative, unique eyeshadow looks and then color combinations. She very rarely does an eye look or posts an eye look that is an expected color story. She's so creative. I think that she often lays down kind of a neon base, and in the past I have seen that she sometimes does some color mixing on her hand before she lays it down. You've got to check her out. She's amazing. So today's look is completely inspired. I'm just trying to recreate what she did. I'm going to be using these two palettes today. I have the Surge palette from Blend Bunny because this has the neons. I'm going to be using Shocked and then Chemistry, and then the rest of like the outer corner and the transition blending out sorts of colors are brown based. She has a warmer color in her crease, so I'm thinking Mold over here in the BH Cosmetics Naughty palette from Christmas a couple years ago. The Mold shade here is a mid-tone warm leaning brown, and then I might use Yuletide if I feel I need to as I deepen and deepen layer, and then probably Hot Cocoa as well to just get that depth in the outer corner. Now the tricky thing with neons is that they don't build. You can't really build or even very well blend or buff out a neon. You pretty much need to place it where you want it and then just finagle the edges a little bit. So we're going to start with the neons and then build the deeper colors, which are not neon, on top of them. So that's the plan. I will prime my eyes with the Glamlight Icing Primer in the shade White Frosting because neon is going to pop on a white base. Everything that I'm using, per usual, is down below in the description box. I'm actually really excited about this. Usually I'll find an inspirational picture on Instagram and I'll just screenshot it and save it for later. But I literally saw this picture yesterday, last night maybe, and I was stunned. I thought it was so beautiful. So I am going to see what I can do to recreate it. She also has a little like spiderwebby thing going on with a liner. It's gonna be a good time. My husband will think I'm crazy. With neons, again, you don't want to try to blend and buff out. You just lay them down and let them go. So with a medium blending brush, this is Blend Bunny B4. I am going into Shocked within the Blend Bunny Surge palette. I'm just going to load up my brush nicely, and I'm going to start this on my inner corner. And I'm pretty much going to fill my lid space with this shade up until about the outer third, I think. The reason that I wanted the Surge palette from Blend Bunny was because of these neons, specifically. I also think the undertones of the palette are really unique, but it was really the neons that stood out to me. The palette has been discontinued because neons are quite expensive to source. Okay, so here we go. This is most of the lid space, right? I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can see, I'm touching it too much. What's happening is it's getting patchy right here, and again, that's because I'm not taking my own advice. I'm treating this like a regular shadow where I kind of drag it around. No, it's a neon. I need to just place it. So, placing, not pulling. And that's why I was getting patchiness, because I was acting as though it were a regular shadow, and it indeed is not. Neons do not behave like regular shadows. So just tapping in place and then leaving it alone. Now I'm going to take the same brush and go into the Chemistry, which is the neon green shade in the palette. And I'm going to tap this right here. It's just a little bit of this shade. I don't know if she used this to help bridge into the browns, because green is kind of a neutral shade that might help guide into, or bridge to the neutral brown outer corner, or if she used it simply because it's fun. I mean, it looks great with the neon yellow, so why not? But I don't know if she had a specific purpose or just because she wanted to. There's some fallout on my face, to be expected, so I'll make sure I do the lower lash line after I've cleaned everything up. But I'm just laying down, tapping into place the two colors that I want to be primary here. Now I'll go into the browns. So let me grab the Naughty palette. First I'm taking Mold. That's that medium brown matte, kind of a warm tone. I don't think it'll be difficult to build this non-neon shade on top of the neons. So I want very gently to work on the edges here and not drown out the vibrance of those neon tones, but I do want to fill my crease pretty nicely. This mold is kind of like the transition color, but I'm putting it on after the fact. Do the little cat eye shape that I prefer. Now I'm hitting just the edges of these neons, but I'm not trying to overlap or anything, just the edges. I still want the look to be very, very dramatic and intense. I would love it if you guys let me know, when I do these inspired by videos, do you ever actually go onto Instagram and find these content creators? Some of them are so amazing. Honestly, half the time I don't understand why anybody watches my videos or looks at my Instagram. Now, to be fair, I have very few followers on Instagram. Social media is not my strong suit. It's not something that I'm naturally good at. It's not something that I know very much about. Not to say I can't learn, but I've chosen to put my time into other things right now. But on Instagram is the most incredible platform for creative people to share their work. I haven't found anything yet that tops the way that Instagram, just the format of Instagram for creative people. Even in my art business, Instagram has always been the place for me to feel creatively inspired. It's amazing. And I get so many ideas and I get so inspired, and I just want to take out my tools and try to recreate something or put my own spin on it or practice. It inspires me to practice because I want to get that good at X. So Instagram's amazing for that. I know that social media can be a place that fosters discontent, comparisons, negative things, but it can also honestly be, especially Instagram as far as I'm concerned, it really can be a beautiful opportunity to inspire and be inspired. So I'm going to leave the lower lash line alone and just tapping onto this green, dragging over a little bit. I'm going to leave the lower lash line alone because I want to make sure I clean it up a bit before I specifically place down shadow. Now I will deepen this. I think I'll go in with the other Yuletide just a little bit. Just because it brings in a new layer, a different hue or tone of color, and that makes the look more interesting. Kind of like when you're painting and you add just a hint of shadow, all of a sudden your painting is not flat anymore. It has dimension. It has, the light hits this area and creates shadow in this area, and your painting starts to come alive. Or if you do any kind of needlework, I do cross stitch. If you do needlework and you've got these tiny little details like the outlines or the French knots, those are the things that make a piece of art come to life. And the same thing goes for eye looks, add in these little layers of color and your looks will not be flat. Okay, now I'm going to take a smaller brush. This is Blend Bunny B3, and I will go into that darkest hot cocoa shade from the Naughty palette, and I'm just going to deepen my outer area here. Now the BH shadows build beautifully. She does have a white inner corner highlight with this look. There's no white matte in either of the palettes I'm using today, but I do have my Sydney Grace coconut shade, which I love for an inner corner highlight. It's amazing. So I'll just use that. Okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Just cleaning off my brush. I have a napkin on my lap. Cleaning off my brush and dragging the green mat over or up or whatever to soften all of this. I think that's a nice blend, actually. I think that's a really nice blend. I'm just reapplying a little bit of primer to my lower lash line. Lower lash line is exactly the same thing as far as the color progression, but again, the neons won't build. So I should therefore start with neons and then go darker and darker, and then I'll use the warmer color. So let me do that. So the neon yellow, amazing bright, bright, bright color. This is so stinking fun. These neons and serge are so much fun. Into the neon green. And I'll leave that there. And now I go into the browns. Yeah, let's just do the same progression of browns. So here is Mulled. Here is Yuletide. And before I add the depth of hot cocoa, I'm remembering now that she used the lightest of the warm colors lower than the neons. So I've got this brush here. It's kind of crescent shaped and quite loose, going back into mold. Because it's crescent shaped, I'm going to turn it so that it mimics the curve of my eye. I'm just going to drag this really lightly under these neons. She usually does a pretty hefty lower lash line, and that's not quite my style. In fact, as I'm doing this now, I'm slightly regretting it, but I've committed now, so let me just keep blending. Just keep blending, just keep blending. And then I'll see if I can re-intensify the neons that may have gotten slightly dusted away with that application. And now back into Naughty, and I'll just get a smudger brush, I think. I'm using this in just my outer corner, and I'll attach it to the wing up here, or the cat eye, you know. I think this is looking good, and honestly, considering that I'm using two completely different brands and formulas of differing ages, you know, both of these palettes are a couple of years old. They're not new. I think the blend is amazing. Now let's quickly grab the inner corner highlight. So I have Tropicolor from Sydney Grace. There's a shadow in here called Coconut, and it's marvelous. Placing Coconut right here. Bright white inner corner highlight. This is so striking. I'm loving these colors together. And this is what I mean. When I watch, or when I look at this girl's profile, sometimes she'll do things I never would have thought of. And they're just amazing. They're striking, they're impactful, they're bold, they're interesting. Okay, so this is the look, except we have the graphic liner. Now I am doing all of this off the top of my head. You'll have to forgive me if I've got anything wrong, but for my graphic liner, I'm using the Split It Painter's Paradise palette from Artitude Cosmetics. This is also linked in my description box. It's amazing. I'm just gonna put a simple drop. I was gonna say a single drop of water. I said simple, and then I was gonna go back and say single and edit it out. In the meantime, I dripped like 6 drops. Into the black, at least. It's all in the black. This is a very small paintbrush. I think I got it off Amazon. Oh, it's Master's Touch brand, so I probably got it at Hobby Lobby. Any art supply store. Going into the black. I'm not very good at graphic liner, but it is a key element to this look. Now, this look is amazing. I would 1000% leave it as it is, but I really want to try that liner detail, even though it might not turn out well. I'm a little scared because I might completely screw up this look. Really made the look next level, so we're gonna try it. And I will not talk while I try to do this. Okay, I think the top line is just okay. But then I remembered while I was doing it that she did do a very dramatic like inner corner flick and then a whole wing eyeliner, and again that brings a whole new level to the look. My friend Deanna, hi Deanna, she's always telling me that the inner corner flick looks much better when it's connected to a full lash line of liner as opposed to the inner corner flick and then the outer corner flick but nothing connecting them. I have to agree with her. It does look a bit disjointed if there's just the inner corner. So I'm going to put black in my waterline, and I think that's everything. This will be obviously a little bit less dramatic than my inspiration picture because I don't have false lashes, but I think it's really fun, and now the challenge is to see if I can make the other side match even remotely. I freaking love this. This is one of the most dynamic, interesting, bold, unique looks that I've ever done. This is the kind of eye look that just gets me so stinking excited. It's not staid, it's not expected, it's not ordinary, it's not everyday. This is so fun and different and unique, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I know it's not the standard of beauty, but I don't care. This is what I think is beautiful and fun and creative, and I feel creative doing it, even though I'm actually copying somebody else's work. I'm following her tutorial step by step. Yet still, it's me being creative and expressing my creativity, learning skills, learning techniques. I absolutely love this. Let me tell you what I did to finish off. As you know, I put black in my waterline and then I put on mascara. That's the only thing I did for my eyes. I have these two things on my lips. This is Italia Deluxe Ultra Fine Lip Liner in the shade 1052 Natural Beige, and then I topped it with the NYX Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream in the color Latte Foam. I know I said before, I really like this. It's so creamy and soft. It's very moussey. And it stays feeling moussey for quite some time. It does transfer if you like immediately, but if you wait a while, it will dry down and kind of be more of a stain that's still matte. I really like this. I've bought this in a couple colors now. And then on my face, I have some bronzer from Physicians Formula and then the Aurora Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I used these two shades. I put this one down, then I put this one down. That's the whole look. I think it's amazing. I love it so much. I cannot wait to go through the rest of my day wearing this look and expressing my creativity in this way. And if the baby naps long enough, I am 100% filming another video. There are a couple of points about the look itself. My upper lines here are not very good. This one's better, as it usually is, because I was able to get the brush to be a finer tip. This one's a lot more blotchy. It's okay. You know, I'm learning as I go, and honestly, I wear glasses during the day, plus the lines are a little bit too low, so they're gonna hide in my crease a bit. So it's, nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. I'm just saying. And then as far as the lower lash line, first I put down the neons over here, and then I did that warmer matte, and then I thought, oh dear, I kind of covered the neons more than I wanted to, so then I tried to re-intensify the neons. On this side, I did the warm matte first, but I put it, like I placed it much lower than where the neons would eventually go, and then I put the neons on top. So I think you might be able to tell on camera, this side is a bit more vibrant on the lower lash line. This side is a little bit duller because the brown kind of covered the neons a smidge. I would love to hear your thoughts. 100% go check out the Instagram profile of my inspiration artist here. She's linked down below. She's amazing. I'm sure that if you like this kind of thing, you're going to be blown away by her Instagram profile. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being patient as my filming schedule has been a bit off. We had sickness and eye infections and a little bit of craziness. I have missed filming, but sometimes it just can't happen. So I do generally upload several videos a week. So if you like this sort of thing, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. Hit that like button because it's good for the channel, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye!